So the chapter they have named as Understanding Quadrilaterals. This is the name as. Yeah, we'll do this chapter now. Understanding Quadrilaterals. Yeah, very good. So understanding quadrilaterals is the name as per NCERT. This chapter will actually comprise of 3 topics. One would be polygon. The second would be on quadrilaterals. Okay. And the third will be on parallelograms. If you ask me what becomes most important, this part becomes most important for classes to come, and you should pay more attention on parallelograms. A lot of theorems you will be understanding in parallelograms, a lot of takeaways you will be getting in parallelogram. What happens when this angle goes this way, that way, right? So we start with polygon. Okay, poly means many, gon means angle, many angle figure. Okay, a many angle figure means a polygon. Angles, look, a polygon is always made up of line segments. Line segments, and it has to be a closed figure. Okay, made up of line segments, and it has to be a closed figure. Every time 2 line segments meet, they create an angle. And when the number of angles are more than anything, then we call it as a polygon. Have you understood? So the first very simple type of simple polygon that you have come across in your life is a triangle. A triangle is also made up of 3 line segments and 3 angles are formed. So a triangle is a polygon. Then comes, is a square a polygon? Yes. Is a rectangle a polygon? Yes. Is a quadrilateral a polygon? Yes. Is a parallelogram a polygon? Yes. Is a rhombus a polygon? Yes. Is a pentagon, hexagon, hepta, octa? Yes, all are polygons. Circle cannot be a polygon because it has to be made up of line segments. A circle does not have line segments in it. Is this clear? So the simple polygon that we can think about, the simplest of the polygon that we can think about is a triangle. So it's like this. So let's say, is this a polygon? Yes, this is a polygon. And gon means angle. So we have angles. These angles which are there inside a polygon, these are known as internal angles. What you should be more worried about, that every polygon will have something called an internal angle, and there will also be external angle. External angle. Now let me have a look at, say, external angle. If I extend this arm, okay, if I extend this arm, then there will be an angle formation out here, where between the extended part and this is an external angle. This is an external angle. Have you understood? Similarly, you could have kept this arm extended, and on this side also there can be an external angle. Like, say, for example, if I extend this arm, and then this is also an external angle. These are called external angles of a polygon. Have we understood? Okay. Now, 2 types of polygon, which is, there will be something called concave polygon, convex polygon. For us, more important you should know is what is a regular polygon and what is an irregular polygon. Because once it becomes regular, then a lot of interesting observations come. So let's understand what is a regular polygon. In a regular polygon, all sides will be equal. All sides are equal, and similarly all internal angles will also be equal. And so will be all external angles. Okay, so the most easiest regular polygon is an equilateral triangle, all 3 sides equal. Then all angles are how much? 60 degree. Okay. Now what we mean by this is like this, something like this. See, children, suppose I'm making a hexagon. Okay, I'm making a hexagon. Now if you look at this hexagon, I'm trying to make it as a regular hexagon, means all sides are equal. But this hexagon can also be in such a manner where all sides are not equal. Still it's a hexagon. For example, in a very simple thing, just try to understand scalene triangle. A scalene triangle is a polygon where none of the sides are equal. In that case, I will call that polygon as an irregular polygon, and that polygon does not have equal internal angles or equal external angles. Okay, this is more of a disciplined polygon. Now, the other type of polygon that you can get is known as a irregular polygon. Irregular polygon. And an irregular polygon, sides as well as angles, both internal and external, are not equal. Are not equal. Have we understood? You can just write down these points. So what did you understand polygon? Polygon is a closed figure which is not formed by arcs. You know, arc is a portion of a circumference. It is formed only by line segments. And the simplest polygon that we can think about is a triangle. Gon means angle. As many angles, so many angles. Triangle is 3 angles, so we call triangle. If there are much more angles, then we call it a polygon. Polygons can be described and classified as regular, irregular. Regular polygons are those where the sides are equal. Irregular polygon, the sides are not equal. So did not memorize. Think about triangle. Equilateral, scalene. In scalene, the angles will never be equal to each other. Neither the sides are equal to each other. The external angles will also not be, because you have disturbed the symmetry. Whereas if you think of a regular polygon, the sides are equal, the internal angles are equal, as well as the external angles are also equal. Have we understood this much? Can we go ahead? Okay. So we go one step ahead and we discuss now about some angle measurements of a polygon. Angle measurements of a polygon. Angle measurements of a polygon. Now there are two angles. One is sorry, I'm writing two. Okay, the first thing that we will understand is the sum of all exterior angles. Sum of all exterior angles is always 360 degree. Now this is true whether you are a regular or you are a irregular polygon. Your sum of external angles will always be 360. There is no question about it. Have you understood? Okay. Now, if you are regular, some more interesting thing happens. This goes further. If it is a regular polygon. Okay. Now, if you are a regular polygon, what is the nice thing? Each external angle is equal, right? If you are a regular polygon, then you should start thinking that each external angle are equal. No, not 90. They are equal. They are equal, right? And so each external angle, no, then you can find out the measurement. That will be 360 divided by n. Try to understand. Try to understand. What is a regular polygon? Before writing, first understand. Then you write. See, now whatever writing, you're writing Hebrew and Latin. First understand the concept. The sum of all external angles of a polygon is 360. Whether it is regular or irregular. I'm just taking the example which say what do you call triangles. Okay, now let this be an equilateral triangle. This is an equilateral triangle. I've extended it this side and I have extended it this side. Have you understood? This is an equilateral triangle. And what we are trying to say here is that sum of all the exterior angles, these are exterior angles, let this be x, this be y, and this be z. we are trying to say here is that x plus y plus z will always be 360 degree. Similarly, what I'm doing, I'm also drawing a scalene triangle. Okay. Now this is a scalene triangle. Have you understood? In this scalene triangle, I have got my external angles are this, then there is an external angle this, and there is another external angle. This is between this and this, this is between this and this, between this and this is another external angle. Have you getting it? Now say suppose I call them as x, y and z. Here also x plus y plus z will be 360 degree. No questions asked whether you are regular or you are irregular. The interesting thing is, since this is a regular polygon, means an equilateral triangle, here x will be equal to y will be equal to z. Have you understood? Then what is the measurement? Each of them all are same. What is the measure of each of them? 120, because you are now dividing it by what? If you want to find the value of x, you say it is 360 divided by how many sides? 1, 2, 3. That is what is n. Here n is equal to 3. Have you understood this or not? You can't put that analogy here because here the sides are not equal. So the angles will never be equal. So if you are irregular, the maximum you can find out is what is the sum, and that we all know. Now start thinking. In an examination, they will not try to give you irregular, because in irregular everybody knows that the sum is 360. They will try to give you regular, and they will say now find the value of each external angle. Now say we have got a polygon which is a pentagon. I hope you know the names, like penta means 5, pentagon. Now n becomes equals to 5, right? So 5, 7, 35, 1, 10, 5, 2, 10. Each external angle is 72 degree. And all will be equal because it's regular. If we come to hexagon, hexagon is 360 divided by 60. So each external angle will be 60 degree. Is this getting clear? So what did we write? Sum of all external angles, whether you are reg or irreg, it will always be 360. However, if it is a regular polygon, then only we go further parallel analysis. Then each external angle are equal. All the external angles are equal. As he said, it will be 120, 120, 120. And how do you calculate it? 360 divided by n. N is the number of sides. Yes, n equal to number of sides. And in this case, the number of sides, may all sides are equal in their measurement. Right. Now it's like all of you, there are say 10 children in our batch. 10 children eat the same amount, right? And say maximum amount of puris consumed were 100. Then how many puris does each child consume? 100 divided by 10, 10. But can we apply that analogy if somebody eats less, somebody eats more? No, we cannot apply. That's the same concept out here. Hope you're getting it clear now. Have you understood? Okay. So that is the story of exterior angles. Then comes the story of interior angles. Okay. Then comes the story of interior angles, and the interior angle is like this. Here, now more questions come from this one because here a formula is involved. So now we say sum of interior angles is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. Now you need not remember it like that. So there's a trick. What is the sum of all angles of a triangle? 180. In a triangle, what is the value of n? 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 into 180, 180. What is the sum of all angles in a quadrilateral? 360. How? Quadrilateral has got 4. 4 minus 2, 2. 2 into 180, 360. In a hexagon, n. N is how much? 6. 6. Hexagon, 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 into 360. 4 into 180. That will give you 720 degrees. Have you understood? Now here also we will have. Now once again you say these are. Now if this was puris, these are the liters of juice consumed. Say 10 children consume 10 liter juice. All consume the same amount. Each child consume how much juice? 1 liter. So if you are irregular, nobody will ask you to find out what is the value of individual angle, because it doesn't make any sense. So again we say if it is a reg regular polygon, then each internal angle will be given by n minus 2 into 180 degree divided by n. The sum of all the angles divided by the number of sides. Now, let's put this idea for triangle. For triangle, n is how much? 3. Regular polygon means equilateral triangle. What is the angle of an equilateral triangle? 60. 3 minus 2, 1. 1 into 180, 180. 180 divided by 3, 60. Okay, let's take the case of a square. Is a square a regular polygon? Yes. What is each internal angle? 90. So 4 minus 2, 2. 2 into 180, 360. 360 divided by again 4, which is 90. Majo ayo? Have you understood? Let's take the case of a hexagon now. Regular hexagon. 720 divided by 6, 120, which is each internal angle of a hexagon. Are we fine so far, bacha? Okay, write down this also. Yeah, sure.
I didn't understand.
Which one? The next one or the first one? Next one, what have we done? We have found sum of all the interior angles. And then each interior angle will be what? Sum of all the interior angles divided by the number of sides. So sum of all the angles is n minus 2 into 180 divided by the number of sides. Yeah. Did you now understand, or is it still locking? No, I don't think you're clear. There's something which is still troubling you. That is degree, not power 0. Degree, measurement we write, degree we write like this. That is not to the power 0. Are you not versed how we write degrees? No, not understood. No, are you familiar with this way I am writing? They're sleeping or what? That is degree, not polynomial degree. This is angle measurement degree. Are we fine? Okay. Now, right. Are we done with this? Okay. Now say suppose, let's see some more scenarios. If they give you problems like this, I will not try to bundle you with a lot of formulas because that does not help you in any way. Have a look here. So I have made a very simple polygon, which is a irregular polygon, and it's a triangle. It's a scalene triangle. Okay. Now let's try and have a look at the internal angles. Let this angle be x, let this angle be y degrees, x degrees, and let this angle be z degrees. Okay. Now, tell me children, this line which I have drawn, is it not a straight line? Yes. And a straight line measures how much? 180 degree. That means if you want to find out, this is the external angle. Let's say this is external angle 1. External angle 1 should always be 180 minus x degrees. There are many people memorize this as formulas. Each external angle is equal to 180 minus internal, but if you use your head, you should be able to find it out very easily. Linear pair, very good. This is known as a excellent. I didn't use the word. This is called a linear pair. Okay, now since he has used the word, then I can't stop. A linear pair for formation should always have a straight line. That's the first condition for formation of a linear pair. And linear pair. So, and then you can make a straight line. You can make it this side. No, sir, I don't like it this side. I make it this side. Very fine. Make it any side you want. if this is x and if this is y, then x plus y always add up to 180 degree. This is called the linear pair concept. Have you understood? So if this is z, then this angle should be equal to 180 degree minus z degree, and this angle should be equal to how much? 180 degree minus y degree. Are we fine? Okay. So let's quickly take up one exercise first from what you call not R.S. Agarwal. We will first take it up from NCERT. Okay. Just one more thing I had to explain. Let me check. No, don't worry. I have NCERT. We'll do it. That you don't worry. No, not writing. I'm just thinking whether I've left out anything or not. Okay, there are two more things, concave and convex polygon. Okay, that's our next, concave and convex. Okay. They're in lenses also, but we'll study them here also. Okay. Let's understand that too. Shall we? Okay. Concave and convex. Now, best to understand concave when you study lens or you study mirror, people get confused with the shape, which is what shape. Okay, in concave, always remember, now these are just techniques to remember, that there is the mention of a word called cave, right? So there should always be a cave, like when we draw a concave mirror, our concave mirrors will be like this. So this is like a cave, and make the man sit inside a cave. This is like a concave shape. This is a concave, bending inwards, right? Like a spoon, the spoons, right? And if you think this like a spoon or a ladle, then it's the inside. Man inside a cave is concave, and convex is bulged out. Convex will always be bulged out. So the same spoons, this side will be convex and this side will be concave. Always remember, this is in mirror. Lenses also we go by the same way. When it's bulged out, it's called convex, and when it is inside, we call it concave, right? So in our topic, we have to study something called concave polygon, and there is another called convex polygon. Now, convex polygon is very easy to understand. Convex polygon in which each angle is less than 180 degree. Each angle should be less than 180 degree, right? Each angle is less than 180 degree. That means what, children? The angles can be either acute or they can be obtuse. Not all of them. If all of them are obtuse, you will not be able to yes, all of them also. For example, a regular hexagon, what is the internal angle? 120 degree. All are obtuse. So either they need to be acute or they need to be obtuse, or a mixture of both is also possible, but you cannot cross 180. You cannot. Achha, do you know what is a reflex angle? Anyone? An angle which is more than 180 degrees. So let's understand that concept also. Say for example, this is a quadrant system. Okay, we call this as a quadrant. Just try and understand, it will be easy for you. Okay, I'm now keeping this line on hold. Angles are always measured anti-clockwise. So this is acute. Where do I reach? 90 degree. After that you become obtuse, and then you come to straight. Then you are getting into reflex. Reflex is beyond 180. Anything beyond 180 is reflex, and one circle you come back to 0 once again, right? Now in the case of this particular fellow, what is this fellow's name? Concave. At least one angle should be greater than 180 degree. Then only that concave figure will be formed. That cave-in thing will be formed. So just see, I'm just trying to draw one figure. You will automatically answer. You will be able to understand. Look, is this a polygon? Yes, it's a side made by all. It's a figure that is made by all line segments. Okay, now just look here. This angle appears to me as acute, which is perfect. This is also acute. Yes, perfect. This is also acute. But what about this? This is more than 180 degree. Why is it more than 180 degree? Look, if I try to extend this out here, sorry, if I try to plot this here, then this angle has crossed beyond. So this is more than 180 degree. In such a case, you are actually able to create that concave shapes. Therefore, this is known as a concave. So yaad rahega, in concave, at least one angle should be greater than 180 degree, in which at least one, and convex, in which each angle is less than 180 degree. We have nothing more to understand. We can actually now start, attempting some questions. And let's take the questions from here itself, from R.S. Agarwal itself, right? Isme ye rahega. Hey, don't spill those bins down. Yeah. So what you do is that you can they are all MCQ type questions. We can sit and actually discuss and do. You can go down to page number 182. Finish it up here itself. Why wait for it? Or else would you like to do this as homework? Because this is, no, because, no, 14A, 14B is more interesting. 14B is also easy. I mean, there's hardly anything. Okay, 14B, come down to question number 13. Come down to question number 13. 1-3. Yeah. Come down to question number 13. What does question? So I'm on 14B, exercise 14B, and I'm on question number 13. Can anyone narrate that question for me?
The sum of all interior angles of a regular polygon is.
Hold on. So hold on. Okay, just hold on. So what am I given? First thing I am given is a regular polygon. As I told you, they will always give you a regular polygon. And then they say what? The sum. The sum of all internal angles or interior angles is equal to how much? 1080 degrees. Okay, what have they asked us?
What is the measure of each of the interior angle?
Yeah, okay. Now to find, just check here, to find measure of each interior angle. Okay, children, hang on 1 minute, just have a look at me. It is something like, given a regular polygon, just imagine given a triangle, equilateral triangle, sum of the internal angles is 180 degree. What is each internal? How do you find out? 180 divided by 3. 3 means what? Number of sides. So the first thing we need here is number of sides. So we say, let, I'm doing it in an elongated manner, elaborate manner, though it is a MCQ. Let the number of sides be equal to n. I don't know what it is, right? And then we can write that sum of all interior angles, whether you are a regular or an irregular, is given by n minus 2 into 180 degree. We know this, right? And since you are a regular, for a regular polygon, each internal angle will be equal to how much? N minus 2 by n into 180 degrees. Now this portion is given, look here children, now this portion is given equal to how much? This is given to you as 1080. Do you agree? Sum of all. So 0 can strike out a 0. Now how much are you left with? 18 times n minus 36 is equal to 108. 18 times n becomes equals to, add with it, 8 plus 6, 14, 4, 1, 1 and 3, 4, and 1 come. Right? So n should be equal to
Which one am I doing? D. D.
I'm doing question number 13.
135.
So how much is it? What is the value of n? N is equal to 8. N is equal to 144 divided by 18, which is equal to 8. 8, 8, 64, 4, 6, 8186. That means our polygon has got how many sides? 8 sides. So now each interior angle is how much? 8 minus 2 divided by 8 into 180 degree. So that is very easy. Now this is how much? 8 minus 2 is how much, children? 6. 6 by 8 into 180. I get to it 236, 248, then 4, 4, 16, 220, 4, 5, 20, and then 3, 5, 15, 5, 1 carry over, 3, 4, 12, and 1, 13. 135 degree is each internal angle. End of the day, to find any internal angle, you will need the number of sides. I did it in an elaborate manner for you to understand how you can find out. Is this clear? And what is the sum of all external angles? 360 degree. That is fixed. Internal angles will always vary because you've got a variable n. In external angles, there's no variable. That is fixed. Our question number 14 is also very interesting. Let's look at question number 14. Okay, are you done with this? So let's look at question number 14. What does question number 14 say? The internal angle
Internal angles of
exceed the exterior. It's a regular. It's a regular, first of all. Okay. So you have a regular polygon. Regular polygon. And the interesting thing is, internal angle exceeds the external angle, is greater than the external angle, exterior angle, by how much? By 108 degrees. Now, please don't write, you first understand. Internal angle exceeds the external angle by 108 degrees. They're asking us that how many sides does this have? Sides means we again need n. Since it is regular polygon, we assume that this regular polygon has got n sides. And that is what we have to find out. Now look at this beautiful question, okay? This question is telling us that internal angle exceeds the external angle. So internal angle and external angle, always a formation like this will be created. Always linear pair combination will be created. Now who is bigger here? The internal angle is bigger, right? So my internal angle exceeds. So if this is x, right? Then this is how much? 108 minus x. Right? Now you have to find out what is the value of x, each internal angle. Then we can find out what is sides. Okay. Can you find out now what is x? If you add both of this, it should be how much? 180 degree. So I have got x and I have got what? 108. Oh, sorry. This is not 108 minus x. Sorry. No. There's a catch out here. There's a catch. My mistake, huh? What does the question say? The interior angle of a regular polygon exceeds its exterior angle by 108 degrees. Exceeds its exterior angle, right? So we will not do it in this manner. We'll not do it in this manner. 1 minute. This will not, we will not do. Okay. No. Just leave it. Interior angle. Now tell me one thing. Exterior angle. Exterior angle. Each exterior angle should be how much? 360 divided by n. This is a straight hisab. There is no confusion about it. Because it is regular. Sum of all the exterior angle is how much? 360 degree. So each exterior angle is this much. Now the interior angle exceeds. Right? So we write, therefore, interior angle is how much? 360 by n plus, how much does it exceed? Okay, it exceeds 108 degrees. Are we fine? We have found out what is the value of each internal angle, but with the value of n, right? And then sum of all the internal angles should be how much? Right? Now, if this figure, so sum of all internal angles should be equal to 360 degree by n plus 108 degree. This is one internal angle multiplied by n. Don't you think so? Have you understood this logic? That's why I say, Abhigya, don't write. First understand. Each external angle is 360 by n. Each internal angle is 360 by n plus 108. This is for this particular problem. Are we fine? Each angle, if each angle of a regular polygon is 60, what is the sum of all angles? 60 into 3, 60 into number of sides. So don't you think that the sum of all the internal angles should be equal to this one, each angle multiplied by n? Yes, it's regular, right? Sum of all internal angles. Now we'll use the word regular polygon. But we also have one more formula. What is the other formula? Sum of all internal angles of a regular polygon. There is one more formula, which is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. This is also true. It is now like linear equation age problem. This is also the age of a person. This is also the age of a person. So don't you think these two should be equal? Sarvesh, have you understood? Or is it going beyond the head? Understood? So if we write this, whoever is writing, you are just not trying to understand. It will not help you. You will again get stuck up in this question at home. First, understand. Each internal angle is this. So sum of all internal angles will be each angle multiplied by the number of sides. Are we fine on that? Also, the sum of all internal angle is this as per formula. This is equation A, this is B. So A must be equal to B. Both are same, right? So A must be equal to B. So we can equate their right hand side. So let's equate the right hand sides. 360 by n plus 108 into n should be equal to n minus 2 into 180 degree. We just need to solve this linear equation, which is very easy. So let's multiply n with this. Then how much do you get? You get only a 360. Do you agree? N will cancel n. And here we get 108 degree n is equal to 180 n minus 360. Agreed? So let's bring it here. Yeah. So 108 degrees minus 108 n minus 180 degrees n is equal to negative 360. Negative 360 is negative 720 degrees. Can you do this difference quickly? How much? Minus 72. So minus 72 degrees n is equal to minus 720 degree. So minus and minus cancels. Therefore, n is equal to how much? 720 degree divided by 72 degree, which is equal to 10. Therefore, our polygon has got n sides. It's a decagon. Have you understood how to crack this problem? If anyone wants another round of explanation, no issues. Just your concept should be clear. External angle, each external angle is always how much? Sum of all external angle, whether you are regular or not, is 360. But as I told you, right? You can see this slide. You will, maybe you are not remembering. I had written one thing that you will get all problems on regular polygons and more on sum of interior angles, because this has got a formula. So what do we get from here? Each exterior angle is this much, right? Now, since you got each exterior angle, you can actually formulate what is your internal angle, because the question says internal angle is 108 more. So exterior angle plus 108. This is one internal angle. What is the sum of all internal angles? Multiplied by the number of sides. Formula tells me that the sum of all internal angle is also n minus 2 into 108. This fellow is also 108, 180. This fellow is also calculating sum. This fellow is also calculating sum. Therefore, the right hand side must be same. We are just equating the right hand side. It's a simple equation. N multiplied with this, n and n cancel is 360, 108n is equal to 180n, and then the answer comes out. Now you can do one thing. You can, since we have done 14 and 13, you can reverse proceed from 12 onwards here till we end our class. Reverse proceed from 12 onwards. If you get stuck up in any problem, ask me, I'll explain you. No issues on that at all. Charvik, did you understand this question? And the 14a you can do at home. That's a kiddo exercise. Mishka, are you clear? Anyone has cloud on this particular question? Any sort of clouding? Or is it clear? Apurv, have you understood this question? So if you have understood, all of you, then you can proceed from question number 12. Because 14 and 13 we have done. Children, am I blocking your view? Is it fine? Okay.